My topic for speech 3 is on how to motivate your audience to believe instead that childhood experiences and parental treatment do not matter more than specific other factors. This really boils down to the nature versus nurture effect. One of the most argued about controversies in the field of psychology is the nature versus nurture debate. They say it can boil down into one question, which is simply, do our human traits develop through experience, or do we come equipped with them? I believe that nothing pertaining to the human body is simple, and that this question cannot give an accurate response because we are not black and white. We are so complex, so we have to be shaped by a combination of both. I wish to persuade you to keep an open mind and not think so one-sided that nurture is the dominant factor in shaping an individual's personality. We all hated learning biology and about things we never thought would be important, or that people like Plato and Aristotle. You'd be wrong, because the debate of nature versus nurture is prevalent in this discussion. The nature part, Plato believed that behavior and knowledge were due to innate factors. He believed that the environment did not teach people anything new, but its purpose was to remind people of information they already knew. This is sourced in Cowie, 1999. Beginning in the days of Plato and Aristotle, this issue has still not been settled to this day. Many philosophers such as Plato, Socrates, and even Charles Darwin believe that we are born with innate abilities, while others such as Aristotle and John Locke believe that the mind is a tabula rasa, a blank tablet. This is sourced from Ashcraft, 1998. In comparison, Aristotle's views were greatly different than Plato's. The problem with both these differing ways of thinking is that a balance must be found to fully understand both sides. Recent studies have found that a variable of both nature and nurture play factors in the development of personalities. This is sourced from Francis and Coffer, 2011. Freud's theory of aggression proves that nature is influential because of the innate and primal instinct to unleash aggression. This proves how, even back in the caveman days, we have always had an instinct of aggression. This was born within us, an innate ability, not something learned. When it boils down to it, the fact is that we cannot be accurate enough to determine a sole cause of personality traits. We cannot derive our thoughts into ones and zeros. The solution to this debate is to keep an open mind and do not get hung up on just one way of looking at things, but instead explore your mind in the realm of possibilities. Some recent studies that have been conducted on twins use both identical and fraternal twins. This consists in the studying of twins that were separated at birth and grew up in separate homes. Identical twins are 100% genetically similar and offer exact genetic replicas to study, whereas fraternal twins are the same as any other sibling, with only about 50% similarity in their genes. Some of the final results of these studies show astonishing similarities between identical twins, yet others show little evidence of these similarities. With fraternal twins, there is some similarities, but none that are complete evidence of the nature theory. This is sourced from Vanderbilt. These studies fuel the pot for both the nature and the nurture sides of the debate. In conclusion, Uri Bronfenbrenner, who studies genetics, said, "It is not nature versus nurture, but the interaction of nature and nurture that drives development. Do not think using opposing views. This is as if using the right side of your brain in contrast with the left side. When discussing the topic of nature versus nurture, one questions whether or not everything their parents said and did mattered. To answer, it did and it did not, because both of these factors together, rather than separate, shape the personality traits of individuals. The structure and process of the human brain is incredibly complex and cannot be summed up in a simple equation. We honestly do not know how the brain works and how our minds react to these two factors.